This is Monday, September 22nd, meeting of the Berlin Board of Assessors. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded. Some attendees are participating by video conference. This is Kevin Pond, Chair of the Board of Assessors. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipating the agenda are present can hear me prior to the calling. Roger Bradley.
Here.
Okay. Linda Barisha.
Here.
Okay. And how many anticipated speakers do we have? Just 2 speakers? I don't know if they're both going to speak or not. Okay. I assume they can hear me. If not, they better say that they can't. Okay. With a quorum of the board, I call this meeting to order at 6:06 p.m. on Monday, September 22nd, 2025. Okay. I don't know if we just want to see what this business is and approve the minutes. I don't know if we're going to have time for all this if we have to be up there in 20 minutes.
I believe we do.
I can save some time by I make a motion, we approve the minutes as written.
Okay. Yep. We could do that. I don't see anything on there. I will read them over, but I think that's a good motion. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the minutes were approved at 6:07 p.m. Yeah. I just want to make a note that I just want to thank our previous board member for Bev Wheeler for all her years of service and hard work that she has done for the board. Okay. Yeah. What's next?
The agenda. Raj, do you want to start with the agenda or do you want me to continue?
So why don't we see if we can help these people on this who are on there rather than go through the agenda. Can we help these people? Or,
hi, Kevin. This is Danielle Avery.
Okay.
I would like to say something. If you're ready, I understand that you're going to vote on the situation with my home at 244 Gates Pond Road tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of read what I've written because I think it's a good outline and it's concise. So as you know, in June, the assessor's office confirmed that there was a square footage error on my home. Because of this, I requested that the assessor file a clerical error abatement with the Department of Revenue, which is how past tax corrections would be made. That hasn't been filed to date. My understanding is that you're going to vote on that tonight. And I also want to correct some of the things that were stated in the select board meeting last week. So it was claimed during that meeting on September 8th, you referenced my property and not by address, but by situation. This reference to situation where garage square footage was counted as square footage of the home, which is exactly what my situation is. And it was claimed that the assessor's office attempted to go in 3 different times. That's inaccurate. In our last meeting, I asked when the visits were. Linda pointed me to the property card. So after that meeting, I did go and look at the property card. And during our ownership, there was only one visit, December 5th, 2022. It was for a pool permit inspection. And on that day, I personally answered the door. They asked to walk around to the backyard. I gave permission for that, and interior access was not requested. And then the other statement that was made during that meeting, and I listened to it several times, so I'll quote it. We found out that there was like an extra kitchen and a full basement, that there was no permit. Again, that's factually inaccurate. Since our ownership, the property card has listed, and we have paid taxes on a finished basement, actually increased square footage than what is actually there for the finished basement, part of the mistake here. So that's pretty clear that it wasn't just discovered that we have a finished basement. That has been on our card at least since our ownership. And the finished basement and the basement kitchen are both original to the home. They're included on permits that I got at the building inspector's office, and I have copies of. They're also there available. They were also, the finished basement and the basement kitchen were also there in May 2017 when the occupancy permit was granted. In addition, property cards from 2023 and later list an extra kitchen. And also there are extra features listed on the property cards prior to that, which I don't know exactly what those refer to. I'm definitely curious about that. But the statements made during that meeting totally mischaracterize the situation. They distract from the core issue, which is the square footage error and the overtaxation. The error is acknowledged. There is a clear remedy to correct it. I don't believe that residents should bear the burden of municipal errors, particularly when they're not easily recognizable by the average homeowner. This error involved duplicated and misclassified square footage entries, which are not obvious to a non-expert, as the image on the property card shows correct measurements. It took me hours to figure it out. So, I mean, they're not obvious to somebody who is not involved in this kind of work. So since my original request to file the clerical error abatement on June 28th, we've talked a couple times, and during those meetings, my opinion is that unrelated, insignificant, and inaccurate claims have been brought up, and that about the property features, they've been used as tools to try to erode the financial impact, and distract from the core issue. The error is over $6,000 worth of overtax paid, and anything that's been brought up from whatever it may be, the pool heater, all of these things, I'm happy to go back and have everything corrected, but they just don't even come close. If they were considered or not considered, they just don't come close to eroding the value of what 624 square feet does on a first floor and 624 square feet in a finished basement. So once again, I'm requesting the clerical error abatement be filed with the Department of Revenue.
Okay, Linda, do you want to speak on this?
Kev, did you say something to me?
Yeah, do you want to speak to this?
I actually gave you the chart
Right,
of all the calculation, correct?
right.
Last time, yep.
Yeah, so I don't have them in front of me. Sorry, it's been a busy day, just got back. But
Okay,
Daniel, the amount that we have is about $500 a month. I mean, a year. I don't know where you get 6,000. I tried to follow
Okay.
you, but $6,000, that's a whole year's, half a year's taxes over 624 square feet. And it's not like
No, well, it's 624 square feet in the first floor, but then it's an additional 624 square feet in the finished basement. So it's more like 1,250.
Yeah, okay.
So, all right. So you look at, I mean,
So first of all,
Maybe
we can only, even if we decided to go for the, we can only go for 3 years, not including 2022. The law states
Okay.
3 years, so that would be 23,
Mhm.
24, and
Yeah.
25. Correct, because in your calculation,
Yep.
you did include the FY 22.
I did.
Is that
Yes.
okay?
And no, and I do understand that you can only go back a certain amount of time. So I'll try to explain how I got my calculation. Basically, on the field card, and I could be wrong. Like I said, I am not an expert, so I would like to see the calculation, but the stated value of the first floor on the field card I'm looking at the the one that's dated December 2024. And it says that the value of the first floor is $360,760. So what I did is I divided that by the square footage that's there on the first floor, and I came up with a value per square foot on the first floor of $146.41, right? So then I used the corrected square footage that I was sent on June 26th, which is 1828. And so I calculated 1828 times $146.41, which was the value per square foot. And I came up with 267,641. So the difference between what the value was there and the value calculated at 1828 square feet is a difference of $93,118.25. So for that year, fiscal year, it was 1419 was the tax rate per 1,000. So what I did there is I divided the 93,118, which is the difference in the two values, by 1,000, and I multiplied by $14.19. And for that, I came out with $1,321 as the difference between what the overtax. And then I did the same exact thing for the basement square footage, and I came up with $542.44. So the total for that year, for fiscal year 25, I got $1,863.
How much was that?
$1,863.
Right. Okay. All right, Linda, do you want to talk to this?
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could share the document with Danielle so she can see our calculations, but for some reason it's not allowing me to share the
Okay.
document. Okay, so basically I'm gonna send you the calculations after the meeting tonight, and we're gonna show you for FY 23, 24, and 25. Which basically for FY 23, it's $623.99. For FY 24, it's $510.89. And for FY 23, $691.53. So in total, it's $1,711.47 for the last 3 years. If we decide to go for the to file for with the abatement for the commissioner, which is 23, 24, and 25. So the difference is $1,711.47.
Okay, yeah, if you can send that to me, like I said,
Yeah, we will
I
send you
got
the
what I
calculation.
got, but
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. And then I just wanted to read a statement from the clerical error, the definition. A clerical error does not involve the exercise of any judgment of dissertation, any assessment error regarding the grade, use, classification, quality of construction, or other element of a property which involves the exercise of an assessor's opinion in the valuation process is not a clerical error. We attempted to inspect the property and we were not successful. So basically it's not a clerical error. That's what the law states. And I can provide you with the law as well.
When was that attempted?
And
Because I have no record of that.
I mean, we have it in the property card that basically 2 attempts were made.
But it's also not an error on our part that,
What dates did they try to inspect though? That's what I would like to know, because I
So
was pointed to the
apparently,
property card and there's one.
yeah, so apparently one of our property field assessor attempted to go in the house and look into inside. So apparently there was someone at the house that didn't allow for interior inspection. However, the exterior was done, but not the interior one. So
Okay, when was this?
last year,
It's not on the card as a visit. And I'm telling you right now, there's no way that happened.
it is in the card when the field inspector was at your house at the same time when the pool was done.
Okay, well, they did not ask me to come in the house.
You were not there. Someone else was there.
Yes, I was. I answered the door. I actually have text messages from that day saying, oh, the assessor's closing out the pool permit.
You have the
So-
text just from our property field assessor?
No. It's text messages between me and my husband.
Who else lives there? An older gentleman? I don't know, Danielle. That's what I have as an
I'm
information.
just telling you, I know that I was there. I know that I answered the door on that day. And I know that they did not ask to come inside.
I was not
And
there.
I
so
think you're
it's your
alluding.
word against.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was there.
I will send you the calculations, how we came up with 1,711, and I will send you the law. And it will be the board's decision if they going to decide, because you remember we had a couple of emails back and forth, and I promised you that we will send you the minutes on the decisions and the calculations and the law, and I will go ahead and do that. And I would like to ask the board if.
Yeah, can I ask another question too?
Sure.
Just my other question is just really around like regular practice, because I was there and I know they didn't ask for interior access, but my question would be, why would they be asking for interior access? At the select board meeting that I watched last week, you said that they try to inspect properties every 10 years. This home was only built in 2017. So to come in 2024 to inspect a property at that time, that seems odd to me. And the other thing
So
I would just like to
basically-
say is that this error was not discovered as a result of coming into the property. The error was discovered by the assessor's office at some point without ever, I mean, I shouldn't say never coming into the property, because obviously somebody was in the property when the house was built and signed off on all the building permits and the plumbing permit and all of that stuff. But so yeah, two questions there, I guess, just about regular practice and why this shouldn't have happened. Like, there shouldn't have been anything wrong. The house is a newer house. It was just built. There are building plans for it. There are permits signed off, an occupancy permit. So why come back in 24 for an interior inspection? Or actually, you said it was last year, but then you said it was in 2022. So which was it? Was it with the pool inspection, or was it last year?
So Danielle, I'm
You
gonna
actually
try
said two different
to, yes, thank you, because I do have to go in my tax classification hearing, so I am kind of a little bit of, when it comes to timing, I'm going to go ahead and answer you on those two questions. So basically, we inspect every property every 10 years. However, if there's a permit, we have to inspect it that year, or based on our judgment, we can do field review. So there are many reasons why we can inspect a property. In this case, it was because you pulled the permit for the
For a
pool.
pool?
So it was not the sickle, yeah, which we do it every year. I mean, every 10 years by law, but we have to also inspect every property and close every permit by June 30th. So for your house, I believe it was the permit for the pool that the field assessor was in your property that day. And what was the other question?
The other question was, when was it that they tried to inspect? Because at one point you told me it was with the pool permit that there was someone else there, and then you also said that it was last year. So was it last year, or was it with the pool permit?
When was the pool permit based on you? When were you home, and the text messages that you were referring to? That was the
December 5th, 2022.
Which 2024?
2022.
The pool was done December 5th, 2022.
Yep.
Okay, I'll pull the property card right now. Any other question?
No, you didn't answer the question, so I just don't know
I
which
am
was
pulling
it with the
so I can see when the pool and the permit was done.
Mhm.
It takes some time to go into vision. In the meantime, do you have any other question? Because I can see here, so the building permit for the pool is 2023. Is that correct?
No, it's not. I have it. No, it's not.
For the fiscal year 2023.
Oh, for fiscal year 2023.
Correct.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. But
2022.
she,
And the inspection was done on December 5th, 2022 for the fiscal year 2023. Is that correct?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Okay. And then, yep, that's what we have here. And in our visit history. And then I see that hot tub was added.
No, there is no hot tub. There is no hot tub.
This is, yeah, I believe you had a question regarding the extra features. Is that correct before?
I did, yes. So
Okay,
on
so
both
one of
properties.
the extra, yeah, I'm in your property card. So one of the extra features that it's in your property card is the hot tub. And then it's
Okay,
the
but there
extra-
isn't a hot tub, so I will argue that. It's a pool, and the model on the
part
permit
of the
is
pool undercover. Is that correct?
what?
It's part of the pool undercover.
Undercover? I don't know what that means.
So this hot tub that we're referring to, and we have a code, it's part of the pool. Is that correct? Because we have some pictures based on near map.
It is literally in the mold of the fiberglass pool. It is in no way separate. It doesn't even increase the price of the pool mold. It's not a hot tub. But so the other question I have then, if that's one of the extra features, what were the extra features in before that was put in? Because there's also extra features in the early property card, 2 of them.
Yes, I do apologize. I need to go in a public hearing. We will have to continue the meeting in next session because they just called for the public hearing, so I have to be there.
Okay, I'm going there too.
Okay, we will continue this next meeting. Okay, Kevin, I will see you in a bit.
Okay, I'll be right up.
Okay,
We need to stop the recording.
yes, and then we will continue in our next meeting. Okay,
Yeah.
bye. See you.
Are we-
The meeting has ended at 6:32.